Okay, Christina here to listen to some music, and today's music selection is Sweet Judy Blue Eyes by Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young. So I'm still learning about this group. I believe it is a super group, which is other musicians that are already famous and they come together to form a new group together. That's pretty cool. I think this might be the first one on the channel. I'm trying to remember. I know I've done some collaborations, like two musicians that have come together, but this is like a super group. And I know there have been a few. There's another one like Wilburys or something that people have been mentioning that might be cool to do in the future here on the channel. So this is Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young. But I'm a little confused because I think maybe Young came into the group later. And so this song was one of their first songs, I think. And so Young was not a part of that yet. But if I'm wrong, please let me know. So I'm just I'm going to go ahead and include the Young in with this and just hopefully that's okay. We're learning. We'll get it. And so who are the musicians again? I'm just going to look it up. David Crosby, Stephen Stills, Graham Nash, and Neil Young. Okay. So I really don't know any of these 3 or 4 musicians on their own or whatever bands they are in separately. I don't know if I'm sort of getting to know this group sort of backwards, but that's okay. I can go back and fill in the gaps later. So let me know if you all have suggestions as to what would be good to go about doing that. For now, this was the poll winner on Patreon and for channel members for Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. So I'm happy to be doing this right now. And what is it that we're doing right now? I am a professional, classically trained musician, instrumentalist, vocalist, composer, and professor. So what we're doing with this music is taking a really close look at it. We're seeing how it was composed. So what were these guys thinking when they wrote this song? What are the instruments that are used? What's the form of the piece? Sometimes we get into some music theory, chord analysis, and key signatures. Sometimes there's instrument demos. And of course, how do we relate to this music? Why do we like it so much? Or why do we not like it? So there's sort of a buzz right now about this group and about this song. I think everybody's kind of excited for this one. So let's go ahead and find out why. So no more delay. Let's listen. Okay, here we go.
It's getting to the point where I'm no fun anymore. I am sorry. Sometimes it hurts so badly I must cry out loud. I am lonely. I am yours. You are mine. You are what you are. You make it hard. Remember what we've said and done and felt about each other. Oh, babe, have mercy. Don't let the past remind.
Okay. Whew. Well, there's a fun blend here. I think I see just right out of the gate why these guys were like, hey, let's make some music together. They sound great together. And how neat that, I'm thinking of at least these 3 guys. Again, is Young not part of this yet? Coming into this project together. And so I heard, even though it was kind of uncomfortable, I heard one voice and then another, it was like sort of the bass and then another guitar. So like the guitar voices coming in. And I feel like if they were on stage, they'd each have their own spotlight as they entered in the music. That's really cool. So that was represented just through the music itself. What a great blend of harmonies. And so there's one singer that is singing on his own. Not sure who that is. This really is sort of going into this blind. And I know that, but I think it's kind of fun just being able to take the music for what it is right now and not have any idea where it came from. There's no bias. There's no secondary story. It's just this group in this moment. It's a great sound. There's a lot of energy to this song, but at the same time, it's really lonely. I think I even heard that word, lonely. Somebody's lonely. So this is not perhaps a deep moment of sadness, but more heartache, more pondering what's going on and why. And so we have these harmonies, and the guys are singing together, but then the one person who's singing by himself, maybe, he's the main character. So maybe he has some friends there who are supporting him. That's nice. Okay. This is a longer song. Let's just keep going.
What we are not now. I am not dreaming. I am yours. You are mine. You are what you are. You make it hard. Tearing yourself away from me now. You are free, and I am crying. This does not mean I don't love you. I do. That's forever. Yes, and for always. I am yours. You are mine. You are what you are. You make it hard. Something inside is telling me that I've got your secret. Are you still listening? Here is the lock, and laughter the key to your heart. And I love you. I am yours, you are mine, you are what you are. You make it hard, and you make it hard, and you make it hard, and you make it hard.
Okay, so now I see why it's called a suite. When you just read the title, it sounds like it could be like SWEET, Sweet Judy Blue Eyes, but it's a suite that is Judy Blue Eyes. But still we don't know who Judy is. But she's got blue eyes. But there definitely is some stuff going on here in the relationship. I definitely noticed the motif with the heart, that I kept hearing that come back. And I was like, oh, I wonder how much that's going to be present. Well, it ended this section of the suite. And now I believe we're headed into a whole new section. And so what exactly is a suite? In classical music, it's basically a collection of different sections of music. It's all part of the same work, but it changes. It's not a theme and variation. So each section is very different from the others, but then usually there's not a stop in between the sections. It's a tocca. And then there are some themes that can be brought back. So we might hear the that part again coming in the final section of the suite. But at least the first main concept of the theme definitely was established here. There is a relationship that is not that easy to navigate on certain levels. So where are we going with this relationship? I don't know. Let's find out.
Friday evening, Sunday in the afternoon. What have you got to lose? Tuesday morning, please be gone, I'm tired of you. What have you got to lose? Will you come see me Thursdays and Saturdays? Hey, 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 what have you got to lose?
Okay, so now we're into the third section of the suite. Are there just three? Is there going to be a recap of the first? We'll find out soon, but all right, this next section, I think in the first section, the person was just kind of realizing that this was hard. The experience was really difficult and trying to accept it. But in this next section, now it's like, okay, I'm not okay with this. I need to make some changes. What can I do? And then there towards the end, I don't know, I sort of caught a little bit of maybe anger almost, like true frustration, and then talking about just want to fly away. So we're really stuck in this problem. All right. There are some really cool spots. I'll go back once we're finished with the entire work. But now that we're headed into the third section of the suite, I already heard some sort of percussive sounds like on the guitars, like just like hitting on the surfaces of the guitars. So is this going to be redemption? Is it going to be finding your way out and setting yourself free? Is there going to be a reconciliation? Or is the material from the beginning going to come back without a resolution where we're just kind of stuck, still upended? I mean, sometimes that happens. All right, well, I'll back up just a little bit to get into this last section, or maybe last section, I don't know. And we'll see what happens.
Hey, what have you got to lose? Chestnut brown canary, ruby-throated sparrow, sing the song, don't be long, thrill me to the marrow. Voices of the angel ring around the moonlight, asking me, say she's so free, how can you catch the sparrow? Lacy lilting lyric, losing love lamenting, change my life, make it right, be my lady.
gosh. Okay. I totally recognize that last part. I had no idea that was from this song. I'm not sure where I've heard it. It's been like TV shows and movies and stuff like that. I had no idea that little hook right there was a part of this, and that it was just at the end. I would have assumed that little hook would have been able to establish an entire song on its own. What in the world? That was a fun surprise. Really, really fun. I'm trying to remember where I've heard it. Oh gosh, it's been lots of places, I'm sure. So this came out in 1969. So it's such a good hook that of course it's been used in places. It's really recognizable. Okay. So help me out here, folks. Was this whole song released all as one? Did they play it on the radio? Did they split it up? Did they just do the last part with that little hook on there? I'm interested to know. As an entire work, though, I love the idea of the suite. To me, there's sort of a simple nature to the harmonies of, I guess, folk music, just vocal harmonies, guitar work, which, by the way, they blend so wonderfully in both instruments, the guitars and the voices. Fantastic. But with the usage of the suite, there is sort of a level of maturity there. It's not pretentiousness. This is a suite. This is what it is. You know, like you go to a hotel and you have just like one room, but if you have a hotel with more than one room, it's all still same part of the hotel room, but it's a suite. It's the same thing. It's not a matter of it being of more value. It's a matter of how it's categorized, characterized. How else are you going to put three separate artists together? Of course it has to be a suite. 3 different sections, plus the little hook on the end. But what a cool piece, really. I liked how it revved up in each section with energy all the way to that last little bit. And we did not, at least I don't think, we did not hear a return of the opening thematic material. Unless somehow I'm not catching on that last hook is made up of it somehow. I might be looking for too much. And it doesn't need to be that complicated. The ending hook was just so good. And so now I am wondering, like, what was the order in which they composed this? Did they come up with the hook first at the end? But they didn't want to be that obvious with that hook. I don't know. It seems to me like it's such a good one and that it seems familiar. I just can't believe it's just right there. I mean, is there another song that it's based on? Like, does this go into another song? Okay, sorry. I have so many questions. All right. Let's look at the lyrics very quickly. I think I caught most of them. Okay. So the first part is, it's getting to the point where I'm no fun anymore. I am sorry. Sometimes it hurts so badly. I must cry out loud. I am lonely. So, I thought maybe she was the issue for some reason, but maybe he is. I'm yours. You are mine. You are what you are. You make it hard. Oh gosh. See, I kept hearing that. I was thinking, is it her? But at the same time, he's accepting. No, she is who she is. But there's something that's making it hard for him. It could be coming from him. I don't know. It could be equal. I think what determines this is how this ends. Did I catch a reconciliation at the end? We'll get there. I just want to verify with words. Okay. Remember what we've said and done and felt about each other. Oh, babe, have mercy. All right. So maybe they're both guilty of some things. Don't let the past remind us of what we are not now. I'm not dreaming. I do like that chorus, though, especially that you are what you are. I like that a lot. Accepting, who we are. Tearing yourself away from me now, you are free. So maybe she's leaving. I am crying. This does not mean I don't love you. I do. That's forever. Yes, and for always. Oh, that's lovely. Something inside is telling me that I've got your secret. Are you listening? Fear is the lock and laughter the key to your heart. Close off because you're afraid of things. So who's not willing to commit here? I'm not sure. But it's just like you're making things really difficult. But again, it could be coming from him too. Okay. Yikes. All right. Part 2. Yeah, I heard lots of days of the week here. Friday evening, Sunday in the afternoon. So it's like time going on here. What have you got to lose? Tuesday morning, please be gone. I'm tired of you. What have you got to lose? Yeah, I picked up on frustration, impatience. Can I tell it like it is? Help me, I'm suffering. Listen to me, baby. It's my heart that's suffering. It's a dying. Help me, I'm suffering. My gosh. And that's what I have to lose, is his own heart. I've got an answer. I'm going to fly away. What have I got to lose? Will you come see me Thursdays and Saturdays? What have you got to lose? Okay. All right. Part 3. There's more energy here, but there's also a rise, the whole tone shifted up higher. But I think that's because we're talking about birds here, maybe flying away. I don't know. Chestnut, brown canary, ruby-throated sparrow, sing the song, don't be long, throw me to the marrow. Voices of the angels ring around the moonlight, asking me, said she so free, how can you catch the sparrow? Lacy, lilting, weary, losing love, lamenting, change my life, make it right, be my lady. So I did hear that, and I was like, oh, is that where he sort of finally made amends with his grievances in the situation and is realizing he needs to sort of take his own advice, that he is who he is, she is who she is, and take the good with the bad, and so let's just make a go of it? At first I was thinking maybe they weren't in a relationship already, but then the second part is talking about like things of the past. I think maybe he was just having doubts. They were just in a rough patch, and she could have been having doubts as well. All right. And then we have that cool outro with the do-do-do-do-do's, but, oh, que linda. Me recuerda a Cuba. So I'm not sure what all that is. How beautiful. Something about Cuba. All right. Well, I'm not sure what that is. Maybe celebration. Did they go on vacation together to Cuba and celebrate? Okay. Anyway, this is 1969. Okay. So let's dive into a couple of these spots. So I was saying the first part was loneliness, but also trying to balance maybe some form of acceptance. And then I liked also how each voice came in. Let's hear that again. So there's 1. 2. 3. All 3.
It's getting to the point.
There they are.
Where I'm no fun.
Yeah, so there's this energy that's sort of continued all the way through. I actually think that the energy in this piece is the uniting theme. Maybe that represents the energy within the feelings, the love in the relationship that sort of keeps things together. And again, I'm assuming that they stay together in the end. It's just like a moment of doubt, maybe. But I loved how all those voices came in. And then moving up a little bit is when I started noticing the hard, that part. Those weren't the right notes, but.
You are mine, you are what you are. You make it hard.
Yeah, so at that point I was noticing that little gesture there. And so when they repeated it several times right towards the end of this first section, I was like, okay, all right. But I didn't know what was coming up next. I had an idea that it was going to change because I know what a suite is, like classically speaking, for music. So I sort of guessed that. But then we got into the second part. So let's move ahead just a little. I picked up on sort of a nervousness in the second part. So more energy, but a different kind of energy. Let's see if we can find that.
You are what you are. You make it hard. Something inside
There, the tambourine. That tambourine picked up.
Are you still listening? Here is the lock and laughter, the key to your heart.
Yeah, so there's just a pickup there of energy, but it seemed a little bit nervous or anxious somehow. They're talking about fear in your heart. Like fear is how, what closes us off, and love is what opens us up. And that's so true. So are these, I don't know how old these people are here. Honestly, I'm guessing that they're pretty young, but they're learning a lot about each other and themselves here. So learning how to open up, see what our internal wounds might be, see how we hurt one another, because, we're all just human. It's okay to be okay. So they're really learning a lot of life lessons here. Then we heard some experimentation later on. So around here, I think we heard some interesting things. The harmonies weren't quite as straightforward. They were sort of getting creative with what they were doing. Like I heard some different echoes and different techniques used. Let's see if we can find this.
What have you got to lose? Can I tell it like it is? Listen to me, baby.
Okay, so that right there is like the most forward I think we've heard of a soloist at this point. And then you hear the other two in the background, not in thirds, it's like a sweeter harmony, but like in a more stark fourth or fifth. It's just an interval that's a little bit further away. It's more striking. Let's hear that again. It was really neat.
Can I tell it like it is? Listen to me, baby.
Yeah.
It's my heart that's
Woo!
it's a die.
Yeah.
That's what I have to lose.
Nice. And it ends with, that's wonderful. Okay. Again, I need to know who these singers are. So which one was that? Who sang in the beginning? That I think is a different one. Maybe? Do they all take turns? All right. We'll figure that out. Let me know if you know, but we'll figure it out. But in this section, there was also one more really cool thing coming up. It was like an echo sort of thing. Let's see if we can find that.
Will you come see me Thursdays and Saturdays? Hey, hey, hey. What have you got
Love
to
it.
lose?
Okay, I love that. That's just like that was different voices. That was so cool. It shows how well they blend. Okay. All right. Then the third section, we got into sort of the percussiveness, like tapping on the instruments. I don't think there was as much anxiety anymore. It was more like resolution, a resolve. And with that, talking about the birds, not just looking at them, admiring the birds flying free, but hearing their song. And then their voices went up high to match that. Let's see if we can find a spot for that.
Brown canary, ruby-throated sparrow.
The birds.
Sing the song, don't be long, thrill me to the marrow.
Yeah. Love it. Okay, the bass work in here in this section was awesome. All of the musicianship on the instruments here are really, really great. But I'm hearing that bass line. So cool. Wow. Yeah. I appreciate the growth of the energy here, the growth of the spirit throughout the piece, the representation of sort of a higher awareness, like a bird flying free. But I have to get into the transition there of this final hook that totally took me by surprise. It was so great. See, I thought it was winding down. I was like, okay, they're going to bring something in from the beginning. And then we hear that. What? Yeah, it's a celebration. awesome. Oh, I could listen to that all day. I do. I want that hook to be its own song. Maybe it is. If it is, let me know. But if not, okay, it's all right. It's good. Is that an actual fourth section of the song? I'm going to say no. Form-wise, it's sort of like a coda, but sometimes a coda implies that there are elements from the previous sections that are all kind of thrown together for one last curtain call. That's not quite what this is. This is more like a celebration of where we've arrived by the end. But it's all totally comfortable. It all completely makes sense. It is congruent all the way through. It really is. But the sections are still different enough that they can hold space where you need them to. This is just a great song. Okay, that was Sweet Judy Blue Eyes by Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and maybe not Young, but okay. Again, let me know so I can get this right. And also tell me about these musicians and where they came from. What I know at any of their music. I don't know. Honestly, the name that I think I recognize is Young, Neil Young. I've heard that name before. But the other three, I don't really know who they are. So we're here to learn. But this was a great song. Thank you so much to everybody who voted for this, who suggested this. I usually ask for suggestions on Patreon and channel members and then put them into a poll and everybody votes. And so thank you so much for doing that. This was great. And will it go on my playlist? Yes. Directly right onto my playlist. Yes. This is a great everyday kind of song. And if you're ever feeling blue, you can still use it for that as well. But it's got that energy and the great hook at the end. It's fantastic. Okay. But for now, don't forget to do all the things, like and subscribe. You can find me on Patreon or you can be a channel member. And if you do that, there's a great library that we're building up now of reactions, like exclusive content and behind the scenes and stuff. So new series we've got going through the Beatles, lots of full album listenings, things like that are not all available to the public on YouTube. So feel free to check things out there. It's also a great music community. What else? We've got some merch that you can get for the channel, which is really fun. You can find all the links below in the descriptions. We're just having a good time. And it's thanks to good music like this. So, as always, just remember that you don't have to be perfect. Just be okay. And keep listening.